Opening scene. The story begins with Captain Blake standing on the bridge of his ship, watching the stars through the main viewport. The galaxy had been peaceful for 30 years, thanks to the Galactic Council's protection. But that peace was about to end. Inciting incident. A distress signal arrives from the peaceful Talran system. An unknown alien force, later identified as the Void Swarm, has begun attacking colony worlds. The swarm doesn't negotiate, doesn't communicate. They simply destroy everything in their path. Initial response. The Galactic Council's advanced races, the insectoid Klarn, the energy-based lumens, and the telepathic Vreen attempt to stop the swarm. They fail. Their weapons barely scratch the swarm's biomechanical ships. Thousands of Council ships are destroyed in hours. Humanity's call. Admiral Stone contacts Captain Blake and other human ship commanders. The Council has officially requested humanity's help, something they never thought they'd need. Humans were considered the young race, tolerated but not respected for their military capabilities. The decision. Blake gathers his crew and explains the situation. The swarm is heading toward the galactic core, where trillions of innocent lives exist. If they aren't stopped, the entire galaxy will fall. Blake asks for volunteers to form a human defense fleet. Got the response. Every single crew member volunteers. Not just on the Iron Dawn, but across all human vessels in the sector. Emma Cross speaks up, representing the crew's sentiment. Humanity remembers what it means to fight for survival. Preparation. The human fleet begins gathering at Rally Point Zeta. Unlike the Council races with their energy shields and exotic weapons, humans bring kinetic cannons, nuclear missiles, electromagnetic pulse bombs, and good old-fashioned explosives. The Council representatives watching are skeptical. The revelation. Dr. Reed briefs the command staff on the swarm's biology. They're silicon-based life forms with metal-infused carapaces. The swarm operates like a hive mind, making them predictable but relentless. Most importantly, they can be killed, but only with overwhelming physical force. Strategy session. Blake and his fellow captains devise a plan. While the Council races relied on precision and elegant warfare, humanity would bring something the galaxy hadn't seen in centuries. Total war. No holding back, no mercy, no surrender. The fleet assembles. 50 human warships gather, from massive carriers to nimble destroyers. It's a fraction of the Council's forces, but every ship is loaded with weapons designed for one purpose: maximum destruction. Blake addresses the fleet over open channels. Blake's speech. We didn't ask to be the galaxy's defenders. We didn't ask for this war. But when the call came, we answered. Not because we're the strongest, or the smartest, or the most advanced. We answered because we know what it means to stand against extinction. Our ancestors fought for every inch of Earth. They fought through ice ages, plagues, and world wars. Today, we fight for something bigger. We fight for every peaceful world in this galaxy. First contact warning. The swarm's forward scouts enter sensor range. Blake orders all ships to battle stations. The crew of the Iron Dawn moves with practiced efficiency. Emma Cross locks targeting solutions on the incoming swarm vessels. Final preparations. As the swarm approaches, Blake walks through his ship, checking on different stations. The weapons bay is loaded and ready. The engine room is running at full power. The medical bay is prepared for casualties. Every human on board knows what's at stake. The calm before, Blake returns to the bridge and takes his command chair. Through the viewport, the first swarm ships become visible, massive. Organic-looking vessels covered in metallic plating, moving like a swarm of locusts through space. Closing line. Blake's hand hovers over the communication button. Behind him, his crew stands ready. Across the fleet, thousands of humans prepare for battle. The galaxy is watching, waiting to see if humanity can succeed where the great Council race has failed. Blake takes a deep breath and opens the fleet-wide channel with 3 simple words. All ships engage. The battle begins. The moment Captain Blake gives the order, the human fleet surges forward. The Iron Dawn leads the charge, its engines burning bright against the darkness of space. The swarm vessels respond immediately, accelerating toward the human ships like a living wave of metal and flesh. First strike, Lieutenant Cross locks onto the nearest swarm ship and fires. The Iron Dawn's main railgun roars to life, sending a solid tungsten projectile at incredible speed. The round punches straight through the swarm vessel's organic armor, creating a massive hole. The ship shudders, but continues advancing. Human tactics. Unlike the Council races who fought with precision strikes and energy beams, the humans unleash everything at once. Missiles streak through space by the hundreds. Railgun rounds tear through swarm ships. Nuclear warheads detonate in bright flashes, catching multiple enemy vessels in their blast radius. The swarm's confusion. The swarm had evolved to fight against energy weapons and particle beams. Their metallic carapaces deflected such attacks easily. But kinetic weapons, solid metal moving at tremendous velocity, were different. The swarm ships began taking heavy damage, their formation breaking apart. Blake's command: don't let up. Blake orders over the fleet channel: pour it on. They've never faced anything like this before. The human ships pressed their advantage, moving in coordinated attack patterns that humanity had perfected through centuries of naval warfare. The swarm adapts, but the swarm is not defenseless. The massive hive mind controlling them quickly adapts. Smaller swarm fighters pour out from the larger vessels like angry insects. They swarm around the human ships, trying to overwhelm them with numbers. Close combat. The human destroyers and frigates break formation to engage the fighters. Their point defense systems light up the void with tracer fire. Emma Cross coordinates the Iron Dawn's defenses as swarm fighters scratch against their hull, trying to break through. First casualty. The human destroyer Valiant takes heavy damage. Dozens of swarm fighters attach themselves to its hull, tearing through armor plating. Captain Blake watches helplessly as the ship's commander gives one final order, ramming speed. The Valiant accelerates into a cluster of large swarm vessels, detonating its remaining nuclear arsenal on impact. The explosion takes out 6 enemy ships. The sacrifice, the loss of the Valiant and its 300 crew members, hits hard. But there's no time to mourn. Blake knows that in war, sacrifice is sometimes necessary. He orders the fleet to honor their fallen comrades by fighting harder. Dr. Reed's discovery. In the middle of the battle, Dr. Reed contacts the bridge with urgent news. He's been analyzing debris from destroyed swarm ships. The creatures have a weakness: their hive-mind connection operates on a specific frequency. If humans can disrupt it, the swarm will become disorganized. New strategy. Blake immediately shares this information with the fleet. Every ship begins modifying their electromagnetic pulse weapons to target that specific frequency. It's a risky move. They'll have to get close to the swarm's command ships to make it work. The volunteer. Captain Blake makes a decision. The Iron Dawn will lead the assault on the swarm's largest vessel, a massive bioship that appears to be coordinating the entire attack. Emma Cross protests, saying it's too dangerous. Blake simply responds that someone has to do it, and he won't ask his people to go somewhere he wouldn't go himself. The push. The Iron Dawn breaks from the main fleet and charges toward the swarm command ship. Enemy fighters swarm around them, but the battleship's armor holds. Explosions rock the ship as swarm weapons impact the hull. But Blake keeps pushing forward. Support arrives. 5 other human ships break formation and follow the Iron Dawn. Their captains refuse to let Blake face the enemy alone. Together, the 6 vessels form a spearhead, driving deep into the swarm's formation. Reaching the target, the Iron Dawn finally comes within range of the massive command ship. It's unlike anything they've seen before, a living mountain of metal and flesh, 3 times larger than any human vessel. Thousands of smaller swarm creatures crawl across its surface. The moment of truth. Blake gives the order. Every ship in the assault group fires their modified EMP weapons simultaneously. The electromagnetic pulse washes over the command ship, and for a brief moment, nothing happens. Closing line. Then, across the entire battlefield, every single swarm vessel stops moving. The hive mind connection has been severed. Blake leans forward in his command chair, eyes locked on the frozen enemy fleet, and says quietly, "Now finish them." The killing blow. With the swarm's hive mind disrupted, their ships float helplessly in space. Captain Blake wastes no time. All ships, target every swarm vessel. Fire at will. The human fleet unleashes a devastating barrage. Missiles, railgun rounds, and energy weapons tear through the defenseless enemy ships. Total destruction. The swarm vessels explode one after another, lighting up the void like fireworks. The massive command ship tries to reactivate its systems, but the Iron Dawn fires its main cannons directly into the creature's core. The bioship shudders, cracks spreading across its metallic surface, before exploding in a brilliant flash. The silence. Within minutes, the battle is over. The entire swarm fleet has been destroyed. Blake stands on the bridge of the Iron Dawn, watching the debris field spread across space. His ship is damaged, scarred with burn marks and hull breaches, but still operational. Counting the cost, Lieutenant Cross reports the casualties. 3 human ships were lost completely. 7 more are heavily damaged. Nearly 800 crew members are dead or wounded. Dr. Reed and his medical teams work frantically to save the injured. Blake feels the weight of every lost life. The aftermath. As the human fleet begins recovery operations, their sensors detect incoming ships. It's the Galactic Council fleet. The same advanced races that had failed to stop the swarm now arrive to witness the aftermath. Admiral Stone's flagship, the Horizon, joins the human formation. Council's reaction. The Council representatives can barely believe what they're seeing. The swarm, which had destroyed thousands of their ships, lies completely annihilated. And humanity, the young race they had dismissed, stands victorious. The Klarn commander contacts Blake directly, his insectoid voice filled with shock recognition. "Human commander," the Klarn says slowly, "we have underestimated your species. Your methods are brutal, but effective. The galaxy owes you a debt we cannot repay." Blake simply nods, too tired for grand speeches. Emma Cross, standing beside him, allows herself a small smile. The message spreads. News of humanity's victory spreads across the galaxy within hours. Every civilized world learns how the humans succeeded where the great council races failed. Some species are grateful. Others are frightened. All of them now view humanity differently. Admiral Stone's address. Admiral Stone broadcasts a message to the entire human fleet. Today, we proved something important. Not just to the galaxy, but to ourselves. We are not the strongest species. We are not the most advanced. But when the moment comes, when everything is on the line, humanity stands and fights. We protect not just our own, but everyone who cannot protect themselves. Blake's reflection later. Blake walks through the damaged corridors of the Iron Dawn. He passes exhausted crew members, wounded soldiers, and memorial photos of those who died. Each face reminds him why they fought. Not for glory, not for power, but because it was the right thing to do. Dr. Reed's report. Reed finds Blake in the observation deck, staring at the stars. The doctor reports that all wounded are stable and will recover. Then he asks the question on everyone's mind. What happens now? The galaxy knows what we're capable of. Blake considers this carefully before responding. Blake's answer: "We go home," Blake says simply. "We repair our ships, honor our dead, and return to our lives. We didn't fight to become conquerors or rulers. We fought because people needed help. That's what humans do." Reed nods, satisfied with that answer. They return. The human fleet begins its journey back to human space. Behind them, Council ships start the long process of clearing the battlefield. The swarm is gone, but the galaxy has changed forever. Humanity is no longer the overlooked young race. No respect. In the weeks that follow, the Galactic Council formally invites humanity to join as full members. Trade agreements are offered. Defense pacts are proposed. Other species want to learn human military tactics. Blake and his crew are decorated as heroes, the legacy. But Captain Blake knows the truth. Humanity didn't win because they were superior. They won because they understood something the advanced races had. Forgotten sometimes survival requires more than elegance and precision. Sometimes it requires raw determination and the willingness to do whatever is necessary. Final scene. Months later, Blake stands on Earth, looking up at the stars. Somewhere out there, peaceful worlds continue their lives because of what humanity did. Children play, families gather, and civilizations thrive, all protected by the day humanity defended the galaxy. Closing line. Blake smiles quietly to himself. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Humanity shows mercy to the innocent and protection to the weak. But to those who threaten the defenseless, no mercy given. Not now, not ever. Asterisk.